Hauser and Chancellor Farabee, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country, the school year, gosh.
So you should consider wearing a mask when you're in a crowded indoor public place. These precautions add an extra layer of protection for you and for those around you. But the reality is that BA5 means many of us are still going to get COVID, even if we take the precautions. Many things is proof that despite the naysayers, we can make meaningful progress on dealing with gun violence.
Hey, where your fucking
Because
training wheels
make
at?
no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. If you think...
Hey, where your fucking training wheels at? Where they at?
Putin's kleptocracy. Kleptocracy. The guys who are the kleptocracy.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. And that's we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact. And the good news is...
Look at that.
Okay.
Can you see that on your screen? Oh, my goodness.
I can.
And the good news is...
Is he all right upstairs?
I don't know.
What must be what?
What the fuck?
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, indivisible, under God, for real.
You dipshit.
Visit vaccines.gov. Vaccines.com. I believe in the possibilities of this country. If you're a family, it's a two.
Today, Junior!
Thanking you, Gwen, for hosting this. And Governor, it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be with you. First of all, thank you for doing this, and looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. If you need any more, thanking you, Gwen, for hosting this. And Governor, it's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be with you. First of all, thank you for doing this, and looking forward to this, Mr. President.
Thank you, Joe.
The American people have a right to have a say in who the Supreme Court nominee is. If you need any more proof positive of how bad the economic theories have been, this excessive deregulation, the failure to oversee what was going on, letting Wall Street run wild, I don't think you needed any more evidence than what you've seen now. So I don't think you needed any more evidence than what you've seen now. I don't think you needed any more evidence than what you've seen now. I don't think you needed any more evidence than what you've seen now. Thank you.
Clearly, Biden's plan to shut down the virus was a farce. So today, the White House, once again, they trotted out the weak, frail, cognitively struggling Joe Biden to what is a very bizarre make-believe Oval Office set, complete with a miniature Oval Office desk, not the real one, and snow is magically falling in the digital windows. With a set like this, anyone, I guess, can pretend to be president. Take a look at my background. Even I can make pretend like Joey. Now, I'm not sure what's worse. Is it Joe with the fake snow, or is it maybe Kamala Harris and the image makeover attempt with child actors? You decide. Now, of course, the real Oval Office was only across the lawn, but Joe seems to prefer the fake Oval Office with the fake snowflakes. Now, if this were President Trump at a tiny desk in front of fake windows, can you just think and imagine for a moment the constant, never-ending mocking from the mob and the media? Of course, they have a different standard for Joe Biden. He was in the candidate protection program. Now it's the presidential protection program from the media mob. And today, well, in his fake Oval Office set, Joe Biden doubled down on his equally fake plan to stop the spread of COVID-19. He said, just get vaccinated and boosted and wear a mask, even if it doesn't actually stop the spread. Take a look.
Those who are fully vaccinated, especially those with the booster shots. And by the way, we have booster shots for the whole nation, okay? You can still get COVID, but it's highly unlikely, very unlikely that you'll become seriously ill. And we're seeing COVID-19 cases among vaccinated in workplaces across America, including here at the White House. But if you're vaccinated and boosted, you are highly protected. You know, be concerned about Omicron, but don't be alarmed.
I thought they said to follow the science. Biden continues to refer to COVID-19 as the pandemic of the unvaccinated. We all now know that simply is not true, because we have fully vaccinated people getting Omicron, fully vaccinated people with boosters, they're getting COVID, and so are people fully vaccinated with boosters, and people with natural immunity are all testing positive for COVID and passing COVID on to the fully vaccinated other boosters.
I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
Radio locator. Selecting greeting. Greeting selected. Execute. Hello.
What's up, big one? What's up, big one?
We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Let me say it again.
The 2020 election was the most secure
Election in American history.
Let me begin by asking a very simple question. Do we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election?
I think millions of Americans know something went wrong, and they have little pieces, and no one's really put it together.
I'm agnostic on this question, and I am awaiting more information. If I believed the president were a Nazi, I might steal an election.
Bold accusations require bold evidence, and they haven't seen it.
We have been working on something big.
Show me the money.
Can we meet? I've been working with Greg Phillips. He has a deep background in election intelligence.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections in the world. No one has more data than we do. We identified in Atlanta 242 mules that went to an average of 24 drop boxes. But Philadelphia alone, we've identified more than 1,100 mules.
What is a mule?
Person picking up ballots and running them to the drop boxes.
This is not grandma out walking her dog. Bad backgrounds, bad reputations. They are interested in one thing, that's money.
And in no shape, in no way, in no time is that legal.
This is organized crime.
Do you have video evidence?
4 million minutes of surveillance video around the country.
What you're about to see is disturbing.
So this is 1 o'clock in the morning.
Don't we all vote at 1 o'clock in the morning?
On one night, this person, this mule, went across 6 counties to 27 different drop boxes.
I call it the Mexican mafia, seriously, because they work like that.
This is jaw-dropping.
What you showed is frightening.
It's just sickening to me.
Now we come to the most important question of all. Was the magnitude of vote trafficking enough to tip the balance in the 2020 presidential election?
It's not a leap to say this would have made a difference.
They have ruined Election Day in the United States of America. That's provable. And that's enough for me to fight the left with every fiber in my body.
Without free and fair elections, we are not a democracy. We are a criminal cartel masquerading as a democracy.
2,000 Mules. In select theaters, May 2nd and 4th.
You have to get the shot.
Once again, hello all my followers. Thank you for following. I don't have to get shit, you fucking decrepit asshole. I don't have to get a booster. I don't have to get a vaccination. I don't have to get none of that. But you have to get out of office. You have to get the fuck out of America. You have to be impeached. You have to be fired. You have to leave what you're doing. You, Pelosi, Kamala, y'all have to leave American people the fuck alone. Because if you ain't figured it out yet, we're not vaccinating. We're not going to vaccinate. We don't give a shit about vaccinating. And the more you threaten about taking our guns, we just go buy more. So fuck you, Joe. Have a great day. We don't have to do a motherfucking thing. All we have to do is be free, be Americans, follow the Constitution, exercise our right to bear arms, and get ready for you tyrannical motherfuckers when you think you're going to force us.